Cool.
That's more than enough time. Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of the Spurs Weekly Roundup. Last week's been a lot of things been going on regarding transfer rumours. Obviously, Nuno is the new manager now. We're joined by Flix today for the first time in quite a while. Flix, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. But anyways, in this episode, we're going to go over the latest transfer news, and I'll say last 3 days especially. There's been quite a few. So we're going to start off with the signing we made this morning, officially announced. Pierluigi Golini has signed on a loan deal. I think it's so it's a loan deal with an option to extend. I think he's on I don't know how many years deal it is, but Golini. The announcement was made this morning. Atalanta goalkeeper. I've had quite a few fans tell me he's one of the best goalkeepers in Serie A. I think he kept the most clean sheets last season, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So, Josh, I'll start with you. Golini, what's what we saying on this one?
I saw it this morning because I woke up quite late, so I didn't see it when it came out. But yeah, it's been going on for like 2 weeks now. I think it's a good idea. Obviously, he seems to be, they think, Lloris's successor, probably for next season, because let's be real, like we wouldn't have signed him just because of that, because we already have Joe Hart. So I think Golini will be good. I think he had the most clean sheets, as you said, in Serie A. He has the same kind of physique as Lloris, where he's quite tall and he's good at shot stopping. And he's good with his reflexes, so he does seem like the ideal replacement for Lloris.
Yeah. So I've got a few stats here, thanks to BBC Sport. So Golini kept 13 clean sheets in all competitions for Atalanta last season, and the option to buy him is thought to be for around £12 million, which, from looking at his highlights, it's a bargain.
That's a bargain. Yeah, it's a bargain.
Yeah, looking at his highlights, like I've seen a few highlights on YouTube after I heard the rumours about him. It is a bargain. Look at the highlights. Like, obviously, I can't judge his ability just from looking at YouTube highlights, but we're gonna have to see how he does here. But
Time will tell.
But Golini also played 20 times for Villa in the Championship back in 2016 before joining Atalanta, where he had been number one for 3 seasons there. So, and he was also captain once for Italy, but also missed out for Euro 2020 because of Donnarumma. He's coming up as well. So Flix, I mean, Golini, the first official signing of the summer. It's safe to say that Paratici working wonders at the moment.
Levy must be shitting himself, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, it's good to see. Like, we're finally getting some fresh blood in. Like, let's hope we get that new centre back as well from Atalanta. Romero, is it?
Yeah.
Because obviously it looks like Alderweireld's on his way out to Qatar, is it?
I haven't heard much about Toby, but regardless, I think he's another player that needs to be sold. Looking at his age, and he is getting old.
I think personally with Toby, I'd give him at least another season. But all the potential signings, is looking good. Let's hope we get this new centre back in. But it's just, the deadwood needs to be going now. Obviously, Lamella's been linked with Seville, so hopefully he's going to go. Sissoko, his days are done now. Who else? Eric Dyer, Sanchez, all them.
I think the people already know who needs to be loaned out.
Yeah.
I think as well, I think Toby wanted to leave, so that's probably the reason why we're selling him. And for 30 million for a 32-year-old is actually very, very good. I know Toby's still quite a good defender. But
you say 30 mil?
13 million.
Oh,
I think 13 million is
yeah.
actually quite
I
good.
was about to say 30 million. Like you're gassing for paying that much for him.
Yeah, but I think 13 million is a really good price for a player like Toby at his age and with the transfer market at the moment. I think Patrici's done wonders there, and I think possibly, I mean, he could probably get Sissoko for like 10 mil possibly, which would be mental. So,
Definitely.
Yeah, so it's official. Golini has joined Spurs on a loan deal option to buy at the end of his deal. But but moving on to so we're basically going to get to the other two rumours to finish off this video. But now we're going to move on to our most recent pre-season game, which was the Colchester one. We beat them 3-0 at the end. 3-0 it finished. All three goals coming in the first half. I think it was who scored? Son, Lucas, and Dele, wasn't it?
yeah, Son, Lucas and Dele.
Yeah. Compared to the Orient game, I did watch. I did watch the first half. Second half, I did a little watch along, and there was no goals, so it was pretty much a waste of time. But yeah, compared to the Orient game, I thought in the first half we were more clinical. Maybe because we had more first team players playing in that game in the first half. But yeah, but in my opinion, this is a big season for Dele Alli, massive season for him. I mean, obviously, new manager coming in now. I mean, Josh, Dele Alli, how big of a season is it for him? Like, is it his redemption season? Do you think?
I don't think it will be his redemption season. I know a lot of people don't like what I say, but he is a bit of a fringe player. I don't think people ride on what happened 3 years ago. I think if he wants to have a good career and move on, because he's got the ability, I think he needs to go, because I can't see him reviving his career at Tottenham, and I hope he proves me wrong, but I just can't see it.
Yeah. I agree, to be honest, because especially looking at other players are coming through the ranks as well. In my opinion, last two seasons have been performing much better than Dele Alli, and in my opinion, he doesn't seem to work as hard as he used to. It's especially under Pochettino, he used to work 3-4 years ago. I know he had more freedom in the role he was played in, but he used to work as well. Under Mourinho, I barely saw him work at all. But Flix, do you think this is Dele's season? Because for me, I've been saying the last two seasons, before the first game, this is Dele's redemption season. This is Dele's redemption season. I've been saying this for the last 3 seasons, and it just hasn't happened yet.
It's sad, isn't it? Because obviously under the Poch days, he was on fire. All the big clubs wanted him. Jose came in. He was very downhill. I think he's going to push it through this season. He's going to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
I hope he does, because we all know what he's got in his locker. He just needs to come out.
I mean, as well,
and do it.
Last season, near the end of the season, he wasn't great, but he got back into form. Near the last 3 games, he was actually quite good. Against Wolves, he was probably one of our best players. So it does show maybe we saw a bit of progression.
Yeah, the same for Dele Alli. As well as Dele Alli, is this Steven Bergwijn's comeback season as well?
Maybe,
Yeah,
but then there's been links with him going to Ajax or something as well. So.
Yeah, there has been rumours about that, but 100% keep Bergwijn, because every time with Bergwijn, we see how good he is. With a run of games, if you know what I mean. For example, when he first joined before the lockdown started, he scored in pretty much every game, didn't he? He scored against City on his debut, scored against Wolves, scored against United on the first game back. 100% Bergwijn with a run of games can be a seriously dangerous player. And even under Jose, that period when we were top of the league, he played every game, I'm pretty certain, because this was before Bale started featuring a lot more.
Yeah.
Bergwijn was still very good defensively, and he's a hard-working player. So start him regularly next season, and I can see him back in his form when he signed for us back in February last year. But Josh, you think this is Bergwijn's comeback season as well?
Well, it depends if we sell him or not. But I think Bergwijn, he can get back into the team. Same with Dele, showed promise last season. And I always say with Bergwijn, like he was never bad when he played. Like he never really did anything wrong. I just think he lost confidence after that Liverpool game. Obviously, what happened was disgusting in the comments and stuff after the game. So I think he kind of got affected by that. So I think he seems to gain that confidence in pre-season. He looked quite good against Colchester, and he looked alright against Leyton Orient, but I don't think it was his fault. He couldn't really get into the game.
It's just with Stevie, that his overall game is like Paul Pogba, but then he has like the finishing of Sonogo. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, this guy has literally like very little in product, so it's important for him to like gain his confidence back. But this is a massive season for Stephen, and what's like Dele Alli in particular, because Stevie's featured more overall last season, and plus Dele's has been lacking his skills for the last 2-3 years now. So it's important we get Dele back on chat. But anyways, back to the other two transfer rumours. We're going to go with the Sevilla swap deal first, I think. It is confirmed, I think, by Fabrizio Romano that we're doing a swap deal with Sevilla. Eric Lamela going to Sevilla, and Brian Gill, a Spanish youngster, coming to Spurs. So
that is like such a scam, I swear.
it's such a scam. It is such a scam. I've no idea what Sevilla are doing here, but I am not complaining whatsoever. I'm just going to get news up now. So this was announced 4 days ago. So Tottenham and Sevilla are finalising a swap deal. Eric Lamela to Sevilla, Brian Gill to Spurs. Agreement set to be reached soon for a permanent deal, and then here we go. Sevilla will also receive 25 million euros. So we're giving Sevilla 25 mil plus Lamela, and they're giving us this Brian Gill. Like, I haven't heard much of him, but looking at the stats, he is a very, very exciting youngster. And Lamela's also another Deadwood player that needs to be sold. So in my opinion, this is a pretty successful transfer. Obviously, if it does happen, I think it is happening, actually. I'm pretty certain it is confirmed. Like, I'm not 100% sure.
It's not confirmed yet. Basically, he's going to play in the Olympics, which is going on right now. And then after, they're going to conclude the deal.
But it's very likely to happen. Whilst Josh explains what he thinks of this deal, I'm just going to get up some stats.
Alright, so I like the idea of Brian Gill. Obviously, a lot of us haven't watched him yet. I watched him in the Egypt-Spain game in the Olympics. He seemed alright, although he only came on for like 20-30 minutes. He seemed to have a positive impact on the team. And he's only 20, I believe. He can play left wing, but he apparently wants to convert into a cam at Tottenham, which obviously interesting with the Dele situation on Dombele. So I think he will be good in the future, but I don't think he'll start somewhat at the beginning of the season. He may break into the team, let's say, at the end. But I think in the future this could be one of our most successful deals. And I wanted to say, Lamela, I know he wasn't that great, but he had some fucking best like shithousery moments. Obviously, Martial, Wilshere in the North London derby. And he even scored some important goals for us. He scored the Rabona against Arsenal, which was
two Rabonas.
Yeah, 2 Rabonas, and the other one against some random pub in Azerbaijan, but you know, in the Europa League. But yeah, I think he's given us some good memories, and I'd like to say thank you, I guess.
Yeah, but Ben, back to Brian Gill. Like it says here, Fabrizio said 3 days ago. Brian Gill to Tottenham is done, confirmed. Lamela to Sevilla is also done. Paperwork's time. Gill will sign for Spurs until June 2026. 25 mil to Sevilla also included. So a 5-year deal. And this is Brian Gill's stats last season. And by the way, by every stat, he is first in La Liga in terms of these stats. All right, so 210 progressive carries, 126 attempted dribbles, 72 successful dribbles, 53 passes in the box, 52 chances created, 35 carries into the box, and 3 through balls. So, looking at the stats, first in the Liga, I think about you got Messi and some very decent players in that league as well. Looking at the stats once again, like I can't judge a player based off his stats. Like I'm gonna have to wait till I see him play at Spurs. But looking at the stats, he looks a very, very exciting talent, and also, like I said already, Lamela's another player that needs to be sold. So I mean, Flex, do you think this is like a very successful transfer looking at it, or?
Definitely. Yeah. There's no questions asked. You know, he's got potential. A lot of people have been saying he's the next Johan Cruyff, obviously the Spanish version, but
Messi as well.
Okay, Messi as well. So bring him in.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I'll tell you what. Like in my opinion, this is taking me back to like when Pochettino first joined, bringing in some like young, exciting talent, if you know what I mean. It's taking me back to those sort of days. But anyways, moving on to the final rumour of the episode. It's another Atalanta player. I mean, Flix has already said it. It's Christian Romero, centre back for Atalanta. I mean, if we get this two over the line, Paratici is working wonders at the moment. Like if we get this one over the line, so this was stated 45 minutes ago by Fabrizio. There is a growing confidence that Spurs. No, sorry. There is a growing confidence within Spurs that an agreement can be reached with Atalanta for Christian Romero as negotiations continue to advance over a complicated deal, although nothing has been agreed yet. So, oh boy. I mean, Josh, I'll start with you.
I mean,
I've seen this guy play before. He is very good.
Last season, he looked very impressive. I think he actually won Serie A Defender of the Year, which is probably the best defensive league in the world. Right behind the Premier League, and players like De Ligt, Bonucci, Chiellini are there, and we saw how good Chiellini and Bonucci were in the Euros. So he must be a very, very good player, and he's 23, and 23 for a centre back is very, very, very young, and to be that good, and playing for a team who are Atalanta, who are like third, and who like the third best team in Serie A, and performing week in, week out is very, very impressive, and I think he can be a brilliant signing for us. I think 50 million is worth it, because I think you've seen his stats, you've seen how he played last season. He's even played for Juventus as well, so he must be a brilliant player. And when I've watched him, he seems very, very good.
Yeah, I've got some more news here. This was stated yesterday, I think. So Tottenham are negotiating to sign Romero. The club has offered an initial 40 million euros plus 10 million euros in bonuses. They've offered Romero a 5-year deal with the option of a 6-year. Terms are not agreed as final details have been discussed, but reaching an agreement will not be an issue. So it's very good to see that talks are progressing nicely, and it's good to see deals are getting done very quickly as well. I mean, especially at the Colchester game. Apparently, Paratici was on his phone like the whole time. Apparently, so it's good to see.
Actually, he's just tweeted Sevilla start set to sign paperwork for the swap deal with Tottenham, including Brian Gill and Lamela, plus 20 million from Spurs. So it seems like it's basically a done deal.
It's basically a done deal as well.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving, boys. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, it's perfect. So, all right, so Fix. I mean, Christian Romero, what are we saying on this one? Young defender. According to Josh, won the Serie A. Like, I can't trust Josh all the time, but
I can't say a lot myself, but I've seen them stats. What he's just said. They're centre back in their league last season. Only 23, so let's just bring him in. You know, when you got the likes of Dyer there, you know, it's a no-brainer.
Lauren Sanchez,
it's a no-brainer.
I might just have like a heart attack if we see Dyer and Sanchez together next season. Like, but that's pretty much it for the transfer rumours. Just before we finish off, it was announced yesterday morning that Son has signed a 4-year deal. That is very important. That is very, very important. I mean,
yes.
I mean, Son is one of the. It's official that Son is such a little person, and he's, in my opinion, been the biggest bargain over the last 7-8 years or so. That's just my opinion. Like 20. What was it? 23 mil.
Yeah, 20 mil, 25
mil. It was right. Yeah, it was between 20 and 25 million, and it, like, to be honest, his first season wasn't great. I mean, Son was living up to that 20 million price tag. He did score a few more important goals, but I think the 17-18 season was his breakthrough season, and ever since then, he's been, in my opinion, our best player every season. So, Josh, Son 4-year deal. well, I mean, it's pretty obvious we're all happy with that deal. So, Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this has been going on since December, so we've obviously known this is going to happen very soon. But yeah, I think 4-year deal. I mean, I've seen a lot of Tottenham fans talking about he's actually our most important player financial wise than he is anything else. So yeah, because he brings in a lot of money, and I think if we lost Son, we'd lose a lot of supporters. That obviously from South Korea. So it'll be different, but I do not know where Max has gone. But yeah, I think obviously with Kane leaving possibly this year or next year, he's going to probably become our best and most important player at the club. So it's good that we tied him down right now when he wants to stay for 4 years.
I've also heard a lot of rumours that obviously now Sonny's extended his contract. Kane's staying, like that. There's no actual proof of him leaving yet. I know we've seen a lot of paper talk, but you know, papers bring out all sorts of crap.
Yeah.
But
I've seen so apparently the Sun, that's the key word here, the Sun, that apparently City have reached an 160 million deal with Kane, but that's the Sun, and apparently basically Alistair Gold, which is basically the most reliable person regarding Spurs news, in my opinion. He said that Spurs have denied any rumours regarding Kane leaving Spurs. But would you take 160 million for him?
No. It's not worth it. He's worth at least 200.
Oh, 200 mil.
I think the thing is with us, I think we do need to because Kane's our best player. Look at West Ham with Declan Rice. He's not an 100 million player. He's nowhere near that. But because he's their best player and best young prospect, they're going to obviously overprice him loads. So that's what we're doing with Kane, because he's literally, if we lose him, we become a bottom half club, become like a 10th, 9th, 8th mid-table team last season. So we're obviously going to overprice him because we want as much money as we can get.
But let's be honest, like he created the most stats last season.
Yeah.
What other striker can do what he can do?
Probably Lewandowski.
No one. No one.
There's no one. There's
literally no one. Lewandowski. I'm sorry. Kane has, in terms of creativity, Kane's levels above him.
Yeah, true.
Maybe goals. Yeah, fair enough. Lewandowski's above Kane, but in terms of all-round game, Kane's the best striker in the world. No doubt.
Definitely. And he's only something less than 50 goals now of Greasy's record. And I want to see him beat Greasy's record, definitely.
Yeah. I think he'll do it as well.
Oh, yeah. If he stays here, smash it.
Yeah, so I think that's going to wrap it up. I mean, last thing I'm going to say, this is official as the Gold said yesterday, Spurs maintain they have no intention of selling Harry Kane this summer. That just proves the Sun is as reliable as Davinson Sanchez is defending. But I think that's... I think that's going to round up.
To be fair, it's probably more reliable than his entire centre-back partnership.
But anyways, I think that's going to round up today's weekly roundup. I hope you guys enjoy. It's been a pretty good episode today. Paratici, signing of the summer so far. Let's be real with that. I mean, 3 signings probably going to happen. I mean, Gil's a done deal. Romero's looking to be done as well. Talks are progressing nicely. So it's a good day to be a Spurs fan at the moment. Delaney announced this morning. Gil may be announced in a day or two, hopefully. And if we get Romero, then a very good start to the transfer window. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is breaking news. I just wanted to break. Harry Kane will not be able to play the first game of the Premier League season because he's still on holiday from the Euros. So we're not going to have Kane for the beginning of the first game of the season.
Where did you hear that?
It's on the Telegraph as well. So it's probably true. So
it's paper talk. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Trust me.
I'll believe it if it's. If it's Fabrizio or Alistair Gold, then I'll believe it. Or Sky Sports on the telly. But
not even Sky Sports. Trust me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But anyway, so that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. This has been the Hotspur Spurs Weekly Roundup. episode. I don't know which one, but a lot of transfer news breaking today. Hope you guys will enjoy, and we'll see you next week.